Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand something today. Time, it's the one thing that we all have, but once it's gone forever. There's no rewind button, no pause, no I'll do it later. When time slips away, it never comes back. Every single second that passes, that's a second you'll never get again. So ask yourself, what are you doing with the time you have right now? Don't get caught up in distractions. Don't let life's noise drown out your purpose. The world's full of people waiting for tomorrow, waiting for next week, waiting for the right time. But let me tell you, the right time is now. Today is the only guarantee you have. You can't put off the work, the dreams, the actions that are going to take you where you want to go. See, time is more than just something that ticks away on a clock. Time is what separates those who make it and those who don't. It's what separates those who sit on the sidelines and watch life pass them by and those who step up and make things happen. Every second you waste is a second you'll never get back, and you can't afford to waste it. You've got to be disciplined. You've got to decide that every minute is valuable. Every hour is important. Every day is a chance to move closer to who you want to be. Time isn't a luxury, it's a gift. And you've got to treat it like it's the most precious thing you've got. Because it is. Now, I know it's easy to get caught up in the distractions, social media, procrastination, fear of failure. But the truth is, those things are stealing your time, and you're allowing it. Think about that. Every time you scroll through your phone instead of taking action toward your goals, every time you waste time waiting for the perfect moment, you're losing. And if you keep doing that, you'll wake up one day and realize that years have gone by and you haven't moved. Don't let that happen to you. So make a decision right now. How are you going to spend your time? Are you going to sit back waiting for someone else to give you the time, the chance, the opportunity, or are you going to take control? Are you going to do the work, put in the effort, take the steps, even when it's tough, even when it's uncomfortable? That's what separates those who succeed from those who don't. Every minute counts. Every second matters. What you do with your time today is what you'll see tomorrow. It's what builds your future. So take ownership, take responsibility, get up, get moving, and get to work. Time is the most valuable resource you have in your life. It's not something you can buy, sell, or trade. Once it's gone forever, and there's no way to get it back. You can't replace it with money or possessions, and you can't stop it from moving forward. Time doesn't wait for anyone, and it certainly doesn't pause for anyone's convenience. This truth should shape everything you do. It should impact how you think, how you act, and how you prioritize your goals. Every person has the same 24 hours in a day, the same number of minutes, and the same seconds ticking away, but what separates successful people from those who struggle is how they use that time. It's not about how much time you have, it's about how you spend it. Time, once lost, cannot be retrieved. This is what makes it irreplaceable. When you waste time, you're wasting opportunities. Each moment you spend doing something that doesn't move you closer to your goals is a moment you'll never get back. Think about that for a second. Every time you procrastinate, every time you put something off for later, you're allowing precious time to slip through your fingers. The time you could be using to learn something new, build a skill, or work toward your dreams is gone. And the more you waste, the more you lose. The thing is, most of us don't fully grasp how much time we have until it's too late. You see people putting off their dreams, waiting for the perfect time to take action. But let me tell you something, there's no perfect time. The perfect time is now. Waiting for conditions to be just right is a trap that so many people fall into. They wait for the stars to align, for everything to fall into place, for the world to give them a sign. But by the time they realize that the perfect time never came, they're years behind where they could have been. In life, time is unforgiving. It moves forward, no matter how we try to stop it. You might think you have all the time in the world, but then life throws you a curveball. Your health changes, circumstances shift, or someone you love is no longer around. And suddenly you realize that time doesn't give you any guarantees. It doesn't care what you plan to do tomorrow or next year. It only cares about what you do today, right now. What's even more powerful about time is that, while it's irreplaceable, it's also incredibly valuable when used wisely. The way you manage your time determines everything: your success, your relationships, your happiness. Time is the currency of life. It's what you spend every single day. And how you spend it will either pay dividends down the road or leave you with nothing but regret. Time also reveals your priorities. What you make time for says a lot about what matters to you. If you're always too busy to chase your dreams, too busy to learn something new, too busy to take care of yourself, that's a choice you're making with your time. If you're always rushing through life, putting off what's important, you'll end up looking back with the realization that you never truly lived in the moment, and you certainly never took full advantage of the time you had. The pressure we often feel when we realize time is slipping away can be overwhelming, but don't let that pressure paralyze you. Let it push you to take action. Don't wait for the right moment. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for someone to tell you it's time to start. You have the time now, and every day that you waste, you're simply giving up the opportunity to build the future you want. Think about the great achievers throughout history. What sets them apart isn't that they had more time than you or I, but rather that they used their time differently. They prioritized their goals, focused on the things that mattered most, and they didn't let distractions take over their lives. Every single day, they invested in their future, one moment at a time. They understood that their time was the only resource they couldn't afford to waste, and they used it wisely to create something meaningful. And it's not just about career success, it's also about the time you spend with your loved ones, the time you spend on self-care, the time you spend growing and learning. Time is what you make of it. If you want to create a life that is rich, not just in material things, but in fulfillment and joy, you have to recognize the importance of time. It's the foundation of everything you want to achieve. In every moment, you have the opportunity to choose how you will spend your time. Will you use it to grow, to move forward, and to become the person you're meant to be? Or will you waste it, always thinking there will be more time tomorrow? The reality is, the time you have right now is all you can count on. It's irreplaceable. And when you realize this, truly realize this, it will change the way you look at the world. It will make you move with purpose, with urgency, and with the understanding that every moment matters. Discipline is the foundation of success. And when it comes to time, discipline is what transforms ambition into achievement. Time, as we all know, doesn't wait. It keeps moving forward, regardless of our intentions. So, if you want to achieve something, if you want to make a real difference in your life, you must develop the discipline to use your time wisely. Without that discipline, you can have all the dreams, all the goals, and all the potential in the world. But without action, without the ability to prioritize and stay focused, none of it will matter. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's about showing up every day, putting in the work, and making decisions that align with your long-term goals. The truth is, success doesn't come from waiting for the perfect moment or waiting until you feel motivated. Success comes from consistently doing the work, even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient, and even when there are 1,000 distractions pulling you in other directions. Time management is essentially a matter of discipline. It's about making decisions every day to invest your time in things that will move you closer to your goals. It's about having the strength to say no to things that don't serve your purpose, things that waste your time and energy. It's about understanding that time is finite, and the choices you make today will determine the quality of your future. If you want to make progress, if you want to grow, you must build a habit of working toward your goals every single day without fail. It's easy to let time slip through your fingers when you don't have the discipline to stay focused. When you allow distractions to pull you away from what's important, you are allowing time to control you. Instead, discipline requires you to take control of your time, to be intentional about how you spend it. Whether it's working on a project, learning something new, or simply reflecting on your goals, you must make sure that your time is spent in a way that aligns with your values and your long-term vision. Building discipline takes practice. It's not something that happens overnight, and it's certainly not something that comes easily for most people. We live in a world filled with distractions, social media, emails, endless entertainment options, and all of these things are designed to pull your attention away from what matters most. It's easy to get lost in the noise and end up wasting hours or even days without accomplishing anything of significance. But discipline requires you to make conscious decisions, to set boundaries, and to stay focused on the things that truly matter. In a world where instant gratification is often the norm, discipline becomes even more important. We are constantly bombarded with messages that encourage us to take the easy way out, to seek comfort, and to avoid hard work. But the truth is, the easy way rarely leads to anything meaningful. The greatest rewards come from the hardest work, from the consistent effort that is required to build something great over time. The ability to focus on long-term goals, even when the immediate results aren't visible, is what separates those who succeed from those who don't. The process of building discipline is about setting yourself up for success. It's about creating routines and habits that ensure you use your time effectively. This means planning your day, prioritizing tasks, and staying consistent with the actions that will help you achieve your goals. It means recognizing the importance of time and committing to using every moment to your advantage. It's about making small, incremental improvements every day, knowing that over time, these efforts will compound and lead to great results. One of the most powerful aspects of discipline is its ability to breed confidence. When you develop the habit of following through on your commitments, of making the most of your time, you begin to trust yourself more. You know that you can count on yourself to stay focused, to show up, and to make progress, even when the path gets tough. This self-trust becomes the foundation for even greater success. It's a cycle. The more disciplined you become, the more confident you become, and the more confidence you have, the more disciplined you become. It's a positive feedback loop that drives you toward achieving your goals. Discipline also teaches you resilience. There will be times when things don't go as planned, when you hit obstacles, or when you experience failure. But discipline isn't about avoiding failure, it's about staying committed even when things get tough. It's about getting up and trying again, day after day, until you get where you want to be. The disciplined person knows that setbacks are part of the process, and they don't let those setbacks stop them from moving forward. They see challenges as opportunities for growth and use them to build strength and perseverance. Ultimately, discipline is what allows you to take full advantage of the time you have. Without discipline, time can easily slip away without any real progress. But with discipline, every moment becomes an opportunity for growth, for improvement, and for achievement. The disciplined person doesn't waste time, they invest it. They invest in themselves, in their goals, and in the future they want to create. And it's that investment that pays the greatest dividends in the end. Time is a defining factor in achieving success. Every person has the same 24 hours in a day, but how those hours are spent makes all the difference. The way you use your time determines what you will accomplish, how far you will go, and how successful you will ultimately become. Time doesn't discriminate. It's the one resource we all have in equal measure, but it's also the one resource we cannot control or get back. This is why time is often the clearest indicator of your success. The decisions you make about how to spend your time are what will either propel you toward your dreams or hold you back. The key to success is understanding that the time you spend today directly influences the future you will live tomorrow. Whether it's advancing in your career, building meaningful relationships, or growing personally, every step you take is a direct result of how you allocate your time. You can have the best intentions, the greatest ideas, and the most ambitious dreams, but if you don't invest your time wisely, those ideas will remain nothing more than wishful thinking. Time, in its essence, is an investment. What you put into it today will show up in the form of achievements tomorrow. Many people go through life with the illusion that they have an infinite amount of time. They think they can always start tomorrow, or that there's always another opportunity waiting down the road. But in reality, time waits for no one. It moves forward regardless of our plans, and the longer we delay, the further away our dreams move from us. Success isn't about waiting for the perfect moment or hoping that things will fall into place. Success is about using your time today to move closer to your goals, no matter how small the steps may seem. The more you invest in the present, the greater the reward will be in the future. One of the biggest misconceptions people have about time is that it's about quantity, not quality. Many think that working harder or longer hours will automatically lead to greater success, but this is not always the case. It's not about the number of hours you spend working, it's about how effectively you use those hours. People who are successful understand the importance of prioritizing tasks, focusing on what truly matters, and putting their energy into actions that will yield results. They don't waste time on things that don't align with their goals. Instead, they stay laser focused on the things that will make the biggest impact on their success. The more intentional you are about how you spend your time, the more effective you will be in achieving your desired outcomes. In life, time often reveals your true priorities. What you spend your time doing shows what you truly value. If you claim that your career is your priority but constantly neglect the time you need to focus on your professional growth, then you're not really investing in your success. If you say that family is important, but you spend more time at work or on your phone than with them, you are not truly honoring those relationships. Time doesn't lie, it speaks louder than words ever could. The way you choose to spend your time is a reflection of your values and your goals. If you want to achieve something meaningful, you must consciously choose to invest your time in ways that align with what you want to accomplish. Success also doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of consistent, intentional use of time over an extended period. People who achieve greatness are not just lucky they've made time work for them. They understand that success isn't about making big moves in a short period, but about making steady progress over time. Every small effort, every task, every decision adds up. Success is built on the accumulation of those small moments, each one contributing to a bigger picture. It's in the daily choices that you make, in the way you handle time each day, that success is built. The more consistent and intentional you are with how you use your time, the more you will see that success materialize in your life. Time is a great equalizer. It doesn't matter where you come from or what resources you have at your disposal. What matters is how you choose to use your time. The opportunities in front of you are only as good as the time you spend working toward them. If you're waiting for the right moment to take action, you're already too late. The moment to act is always now. Procrastination is the enemy of progress. Every moment you delay is a moment you waste. Every second you spend putting something off is a second you'll never get back. Success comes from consistently showing up day after day, making the most of every opportunity that comes your way. The longer you wait, the more time slips through your fingers, and the further your success moves away from you. When you understand that time is the most precious resource you have, you begin to view every moment as an opportunity to make progress. You start to realize that how you spend your time today will dictate the life you live tomorrow. Success isn't a product of luck or chance, it's the result of intentional, focused use of time. When you prioritize the right things and use your time wisely, you create a future filled with growth, achievement, and fulfillment. Time is the most powerful tool you have at your disposal, and how you choose to use it will determine how far you go and how successful you become. Time doesn't owe you anything, it's up to you to make it count. Wasting time is a silent thief. It doesn't steal in dramatic, obvious ways, rather, it creeps up on you in small, seemingly insignificant moments, and before you know it, entire years have passed without any substantial progress toward your goals. The consequences of wasting time are far-reaching, affecting not only your productivity, but also your sense of fulfillment, your growth, and your future success. The most dangerous part is that, for many, the waste of time is often unnoticed until it's too late. People waste time in many forms: procrastination, distractions, lack of focus, or simply failing to make decisions that align with their priorities. But each moment spent not advancing your purpose is a moment that you'll never get back. Procrastination is one of the biggest culprits when it comes to wasting time. It's the act of delaying tasks or decisions that you know need to be done. It's the "I'll do it tomorrow" mindset, which, over time, becomes a pattern. The more you put things off, the more it feels like you have all the time in the world, and yet it's slipping away right in front of you. The problem with procrastination is that it doesn't just delay the task at hand, it also causes stress, anxiety, and a sense of guilt. Every time you delay something important, you add another layer of mental weight, and that weight only grows heavier as time passes. What seems like a harmless delay today becomes an even bigger burden tomorrow. The truth is, procrastination doesn't just affect the work itself, it impacts your overall momentum. When you allow yourself to put things off, you're not just stalling one task, you're also stalling progress in your life. When you let time slip away, you begin to feel a sense of dissatisfaction and regret, because deep down you know that the potential to achieve more is being wasted. The longer you procrastinate, the more time you lose, and with each lost moment, you're pushing your goals further out of reach. At some point, you may look back and wonder where the years went, and it will feel like there's no way to make up for lost time. The damage done by procrastination is not just about the tasks that weren't completed, it's about the opportunities you let slip by. Every time you choose not to act, you are choosing to settle for less than your full potential. Lack of focus is another way time gets wasted. It's easy to feel like you're being productive when you're busy, but being busy doesn't always mean you're using your time effectively. Multitasking, for instance, may feel efficient, but it often leads to fragmented attention, which means you're not fully giving your best to any one thing. When your focus is divided, your productivity decreases, and more time is spent trying to catch up, redo, or correct mistakes. Instead of putting in the effort required to do something well, you find yourself rushing to finish, which often leads to subpar results. Every time you shift your focus away from the task at hand, you waste time that you could have used to make progress. The key is to identify what truly matters, eliminate distractions, and dedicate your time to those focused, intentional efforts that will move you closer to your goals. The failure to make decisions is another subtle form of wasting time. When you're unsure, indecisive, or overly cautious, you put off taking action. And when you don't make decisions, time simply passes by. In the face of uncertainty, many people opt for inaction, hoping that circumstances will change or that someone else will make the choice for them. But waiting for the right moment to act only causes further delay, and time is no more forgiving than that. The most successful people are those who understand that making decisions is an essential part of life. Sometimes, taking action, even if it's imperfect, is better than waiting for the perfect solution that may never come. The more time you spend hesitating, the further you move away from your goals. All of this adds up, creating a pattern of missed opportunities and unrealized potential. It's not just about one day or one moment, but the cumulative effect of many days spent in procrastination, distraction, indecision, and lack of focus. When you waste time, you're not just losing out on today, you're losing the opportunity to build the life you want tomorrow. The truth is, you can't get time back. Once it's gone, it's gone. You can't undo the moments you've spent procrastinating or distracted. But what you can do is make the decision to stop wasting time today. You can start being intentional about how you use every moment, every hour, every day. The future depends on what you do with the time you have now. So, if you want to move forward, to build something meaningful, to achieve your dreams, you have to stop wasting time and start using it wisely. Time, after all, is the most precious thing you have. And when it's gone, there's no way to reclaim it. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking they have time to spare. It's easy to think you'll have another chance, another opportunity, or more time later on. But life has a way of reminding us that we don't control time. We can't slow it down or speed it up. We can't stop it or reverse it. Time moves forward relentlessly, and whether we're ready or not, it keeps moving, taking with it our moments, our days, and our years. People often wait for the perfect moment to act, believing that they will have more time tomorrow or next week. They put things off, thinking they have all the time in the world. But when the moment finally arrives, it's too late. Opportunities that were once available slip through their fingers, and the time they wasted becomes a regret they can never undo. Time is the one resource that, once lost, cannot be reclaimed. You might be able to regain lost money, rebuild relationships, or recover from failure, but you can never get back the hours, days, or years that have passed. The lost time is gone forever, and it leaves behind only what you chose to do with it. This is why people often regret not spending more time with their loved ones, not pursuing their passions, or not seizing opportunities when they had the chance. They realize too late that time is the one thing they could never get back. The past is beyond their control, and all that remains is the present and the future. This is why it's crucial to value the time you have now, to make every moment count, because the time you spend today will determine your future. Understanding the scarcity of time also compels you to set priorities. When you realize that time is limited, you start thinking more critically about how to allocate it. Instead of letting distractions take over, you begin to choose your actions based on what aligns with your goals and values. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter and focus on the things that will bring you closer to your dreams. The more you respect the value of time, the more deliberate you become in your choices. You stop saying, "I'll do it later," and start saying, "I'll do it now," because you know that if you keep waiting for the right moment, that moment may never come. The urgency that comes from understanding the scarcity of time also drives people to overcome fear and doubt. When you realize that time is slipping away, you stop procrastinating. You stop waiting for the perfect conditions or the perfect opportunity. Instead, you take action now, even if the conditions aren't ideal. You understand that waiting for the perfect moment is just another form of procrastination. You can't afford to wait anymore. The perfect moment will never arrive. All you can control is what you do today. And the more you act in the present, the more progress you'll make toward your future. One of the most powerful things you can do when you grasp the importance of time is to invest it wisely. Time is like money, it's a currency, and how you spend it determines your wealth of experiences, your wealth of knowledge, your wealth of relationships, and ultimately your wealth of achievements. If you want to build a fulfilling, successful life, you have to invest your time in the things that matter most. This means saying no to distractions, prioritizing your goals, and committing to the work that will move you forward. Time spent on things that bring you closer to your dreams will pay dividends in the future, just like money invested in a good investment portfolio. When you respect the value of time, you start living with purpose. You become intentional about how you spend your days, making choices that align with your vision of success. Time is no longer something that just happens to you. It becomes something you actively manage and direct toward your goals. You wake up every day with a sense of purpose and direction, knowing that every action you take is either moving you closer to or further away from the life you want to create. The urgency of time becomes your motivator, driving you to push forward, even when things get tough. When you realize that you don't have infinite time to work with, you start to make every day count. In essence, the recognition that time is a limited resource is what separates those who live with intention from those who drift aimlessly through life. Time forces us to confront our choices, to make decisions, and to take action. It pushes us to act now, because we know that if we wait, we might lose the chance. Time doesn't give us unlimited opportunities, and it doesn't guarantee that we'll always have tomorrow. The time to act is now, and the way you use your time today will define the quality of your future. Understanding the scarcity of time is a wake-up call, a reminder that the clock is ticking, and it's up to us to make every moment matter. Time is the most valuable resource we have, and one of the most profound ways to appreciate this value is by recognizing that it shapes the opportunities you create for yourself. Every day is an opportunity to make progress, to move forward, and to work toward your goals. But the reality is that time is only valuable if it's used with purpose. If you're not mindful of how you spend your time, then even the greatest opportunities will pass you by. The more intentional you are with your time, the more you will unlock the doors to greater success. It's not about waiting for the perfect chance to come along, but about making every moment count, whether you're working toward your dreams or developing yourself in small ways. When you truly understand the value of time, you begin to see opportunities everywhere. Every task, every conversation, and every decision becomes an opportunity to improve, grow, or move closer to your goals. The world is full of chances to learn and to advance. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't often lies in the way they seize these opportunities. People who recognize the value of time use it to their advantage, always seeking ways to move forward, whether it's by taking on a new challenge or investing in personal growth. Those who waste time, on the other hand, fail to recognize opportunities when they come. They wait for something to happen or for circumstances to change rather than making things happen on their own. One of the key aspects of using time to create opportunities is the ability to take action. Many people get caught up in the planning phase, thinking that they need to have everything figured out before they move forward. But the reality is that opportunities don't always wait for you to have the perfect plan in place. Sometimes you need to take the first step and adjust along the way. Opportunities are often the result of action, of making a decision and moving forward, even if you're not sure where the path will lead. The more action you take, the more opportunities present themselves. Time, when used wisely, becomes the momentum that drives you forward. Every moment you spend working toward your goals is an investment in your future. People often think of investment as something related to money, but the truth is, time is just as valuable, if not more so. Time is the only resource that you can never get back. Once it's gone for good. So when you spend your time on things that matter, on things that align with your values and goals, you are essentially investing in yourself. Whether it's building a career, strengthening relationships, or improving your skills, the time you invest today will pay off in the future. You may not see the rewards immediately, but the effort you put in will accumulate over time and create opportunities that you wouldn't have had otherwise. It's also important to recognize that time can be used to create opportunities by forming strong relationships. The people you meet, the networks you build, and the connections you nurture are all opportunities in themselves. When you invest your time in meaningful relationships, you open doors to new possibilities, whether they be career-related, personal, or otherwise. Networking and building trust with others is one of the most powerful ways to create opportunities. The more people you know, the more chances you'll have to collaborate, learn, and grow. Time invested in building relationships is never wasted. It pays off in ways that may not always be immediately apparent, but the connections you make today can lead to great things in the future. Learning how to manage your time effectively is another way to create opportunities. Time management isn't just about scheduling your day or making sure you're busy. It's about making sure you're focused on the right tasks, those that will move you forward. Time management involves prioritizing the things that matter most and allocating your time in a way that allows you to accomplish those things. It's about understanding that every moment counts, and that how you spend your time today will determine what opportunities are available to you tomorrow. If you're constantly distracted or disorganized, you're likely missing opportunities simply because you don't have the time or focus to recognize them. Effective time management allows you to create the space and energy needed to take advantage of the opportunities that come your way. The most successful people are those who don't wait for opportunities to fall into their laps. They create opportunities by making the best use of their time. They understand that time is finite, and they use it to invest in their growth, build relationships, and take action toward their goals. Time in their hands is a tool for creating the life they want. When you learn to manage your time effectively, to focus on what truly matters, and to invest in yourself, you begin to open doors to countless opportunities. Time, used wisely, is a key that unlocks the potential to achieve everything you've ever dreamed of. The way you use your time has a profound impact on the quality of your life. It's easy to think that time will simply take care of itself, that you will eventually get to the things that matter, or that there's always tomorrow to start fresh. But in reality, every moment you spend not acting, not taking responsibility for your time, is a missed opportunity. Time waits for no one, and it doesn't care about your plans or intentions. It simply moves forward relentlessly, and it's up to you to make the most of it. It's about more than just filling your day with activities, about using your time in ways that contribute to your growth, your goals, and your sense of fulfillment. Every single moment counts, and how you use your time determines the person you become, the life you build, and the legacy you leave behind. It's important to recognize that being responsible with your time isn't just about working harder or being more productive. It's also about being intentional with how you spend your time. Quality is just as important as quantity. You can spend an entire day working, but if your efforts aren't aligned with your true goals or values, then that time is wasted. You might feel like you're busy, but are you truly moving forward? By taking responsibility for your time, you take responsibility for your actions. You don't wait for the perfect conditions, you create them. When you act, even when conditions aren't perfect, you make progress. You turn the future into the present, and every step forward counts. Overcoming procrastination is a key part of taking control of your time. And when you make the commitment to act now, you stop the cycle of wasted time. This responsibility also extends to how you manage your energy. Time isn't just about the hours in a day, it's about the energy you bring to those hours. If you waste your time on activities that drain you, that don't align with your goals or passions, you'll find that you're not making the most of your time. But when you channel your energy into things that matter, when you use your time to work toward your goals, you create a sense of purpose and fulfillment. You feel energized, focused, and motivated because you know that your time is being used in ways that align with your personal values and aspirations. Managing your time wisely means recognizing where your energy is being directed and making adjustments when necessary to ensure that you're using both your time and your energy in the most productive, meaningful ways possible. Ultimately, taking responsibility for your time is about taking control of your life. It's about becoming the person who no longer lets time slip away or gets distracted by things that don't matter. When you understand the value of time and take responsibility for how you use it, you start to build the life you've always wanted. You stop waiting for the future to unfold, and you begin to create it, one moment at a time. Every day is an opportunity to move closer to your dreams, to grow, and to live a life that is meaningful, fulfilling, and true to who you are. In the end, the value of time cannot be overstated. Time is the one thing we can never get back, and once it's gone forever. Each moment is a chance to make a choice, to move toward your goals, and to create the life you desire. The most successful people are those who recognize the scarcity of time and use it wisely, who invested in their growth, their relationships, and their dreams.